How do you take self-custody of your Bitcoin? Many of you may have been hearing the cries of Bitcoiners telling you to get custody of your coins, but may have no idea how to actually go about doing that. This video is for you. We're going to go through the steps of creating your own Bitcoin wallet, withdrawing your coins from the exchange, and securing them properly. I am Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.
Before we dive in, quick shout out to sponsors of the show, Shakepay.com. If you're in Canada, it is a super easy and efficient way to buy Bitcoin. You can fund your account and withdraw from your account using e-transfer very, very simply. There's a thin spread, and if you use the link down below to sign up and then purchase your first $100 worth of Bitcoin, they will give you $30 for free. You'll also get $30 every time you use your referral link to get friends and family on board. You can then shake your phone every single day for free sats, and they also have a sats back Visa card. So be sure to check them out. Links are in the show notes. Up next, we have LEDN.io. You can use your Bitcoin for a ton of different services. In particular, if you're in a pinch and you need to get your hands on dollars, but you don't want to sell your Bitcoin because that's a taxable event and you're worried about having to buy back in at a higher price, you can deposit your Bitcoin here, get a loan of dollars to your bank account within 24 hours, and when you pay back those dollars, you get back the same amount of Bitcoin. They also have savings accounts for Bitcoin and USDC. They're at in their B2X offering, and they are rolling out Bitcoin-backed mortgages first across Canada and then soon to select US states. So check them out at start.ledn.io/BTC sessions. Up next, we have Bitrefill. Now, I do live on Bitcoin, and this site helps me a ton because I can buy any gift card I can imagine with Bitcoin, both on-chain and via the Lightning Network. I earn sats back as I shop. You can also earn additional sats back using their referral program. And if you're in the US, they've begun to roll out bill payments. So if you want to be living on a Bitcoin standard, this can definitely help you in that department. Next, we have the Keystone, one of my favorite and most used hardware wallets. It's totally air-gapped, meaning you don't plug it into anything internet connected. It keeps the keys to your money safe and offline. Highly recommend upgrading to the Bitcoin-only firmware. It works beautifully with things like Blue Wallet and Sparrow and Spectre and a host of other options, and it's great in a multi-sig too. So check them out down below, and also check out my full tutorial for these guys. And finally, if you're backing up any important Bitcoin wallet, then it's not always best to have it on paper. Sometimes it's a good idea to get it in solid steel. And this is how I back up my important Bitcoin wallets with the BillFodl over at privacypros.io. And with that, let's dive into the show. So let's talk prerequisites. What are you going to need to know in order to go through this process with me right now? The great thing is, not really much else than you already do. I'm assuming that you are an individual that has gone onto an online exchange in some capacity and bought some Bitcoin. And now you're wondering, what do I do next? How do I actually hold this myself? I've heard that's very important. You are absolutely right. It is very important. You've probably seen headlines of custodians losing or freezing people's Bitcoin. You've heard of people getting frozen out of their accounts. You've heard of exchanges being hacked, and a plethora of other examples of why leaving your money in the hands of another is not the best option. Bitcoin was invented to be the antithesis to the current banking system, to be able to take responsibility for yourself and hold your own wealth. So let's go about doing that right now. You will be able to, with me today, walk through the steps so that you are holding your own money in your own hands. So what are we going to do first? Let's take a look at how to get you set up with a Bitcoin wallet. A Bitcoin wallet is a piece of software that holds the keys to your money. Just like a regular key, you can create copies of it, and you can use the backup copy of your key should you lose the original. That's why it's very important to keep it very safe. Also, like a key, anybody who holds a copy of that key can open what it's meant to open, namely your money. So you want to keep your keys safe and away from others. You don't want to be leaving copies of these around people you don't trust, or really around anybody. And you don't want to store them necessarily digitally in written form or in an online place. You want to keep them pretty safe and away from prying eyes, because again, if somebody gets a copy of your keys, then they will have a copy of your money and they'll be able to move it somewhere that you may not be able to touch it. Now, a wallet is not to be confused with an exchange, which you're likely sitting on right now. An exchange is you trusting your money in somebody else's wallet. And that's probably not a place you want to be. So that's what we're going to do right now. I would like you to go to bluewallet.io and download this app. You can get it on Android, you can get it for iOS on an Apple phone, or you can get it on your desktop. Today, I will be working from desktop, but it is effectively the exact same flow. It's just easier to have my screen like this. After you download the app, you're going to get something that looks like this, a little bit different on mobile, but more or less the same idea. You're going to see a lot of blank space, and then you're going to see an option to add a wallet. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to hit add now. You're going to name the wallet, and we'll just name it my wallet for right now. Whatever you want to name it is fine. You're going to choose Bitcoin. You don't need to know about Lightning or the Vault or anything complicated like that. Just choose Bitcoin. That's all you need. And then you're going to hit create. Now there's a few extra options down here. I want you to ignore those right now. I have my wallet set to advanced features for things that you may dig into down the line, but you don't need to know any of this stuff right now. We're just going to hit Bitcoin and choose create. Now, it's going to show you 12 words. These words are incredibly important. These are the keys to your money. They are randomly generated by this wallet. And your job is to write them down on a piece of paper and keep them safe and away from prying eyes. This is that key to your money I was talking about. If anybody gets a hold of a copy of this key, they can unlock your money and move it somewhere else. But this is also the backup to your money, so that if you accidentally delete this wallet or smash your phone or your hard drive on your computer corrupts, all you will need are these 12 words. And the best part is you don't even need to use Blue Wallet with them. You can use these 12 words with any other Bitcoin wallet out there. You just need to have a copy of them. You need to download a new wallet, and you need to put these 12 words in, and you will recover your money like magic. All right. So I want you to write those down right now and come back to me in a second. Okay. Did you write them down? I hope so, because we're going to move on. So you're going to click OK. I wrote it down, and voila, you are ready. So what you will now see is you're going to see my wallet, or whatever you happen to name it. And this is a clickable wallet. You can click on it to go on it. And by the way, you can have as many different wallets as you want. That is all it takes to set it up, is write down those words and you're done. If you want an extra wallet, you can hit the little plus sign and you'll have the option to do the same thing, Bitcoin, create, so on and so forth. But you don't need to. In order to start using your wallet, you're going to simply click or tap on your wallet, my wallet. And you will now see on the app itself, this blue color will have the entire top of the screen, but on desktop, it looks a little bit different here. You're going to have a balance in Bitcoin. You're going to have a list of transactions down below, which is empty right now because we haven't done anything yet. And at the bottom of the screen, you'll have receive and send. Okay. So at this point, we have everything we need already in just a couple of minutes to be able to take our money off of the exchange. Now, this is what's known as a hot wallet. It is connected to the internet. So that means this particular wallet is only as secure as the device it's on. So it's on an online device. If it's compromised or something like that, then not the best. There are ways to secure your money even better. But today, I want you to take a small amount of your Bitcoin and remove it from the exchange. It doesn't have to be a lot. In fact, I want you to treat this wallet kind of how you would treat walking around with cash in your pocket. You don't want your life savings in it, but I want you to learn how to use it properly. Okay, so maybe $50 you want to take off, something like that. That's a comfortable amount. Maybe a few hundred is comfortable for you. Whatever that number is, we're going to do that right now. Okay, so let's hop over to our exchange and learn how to do that. The first thing you're going to do, other than having your exchange app open or logging into your exchange in your browser, is in your wallet that you just created, you're going to hit the receive button. Now, at the first time you do this, it's going to say, hey, have you saved your backup? Those words that we wrote down very carefully. It's just ensuring that you've done that step because it's incredibly important. So yes, I have. And now we get a receive screen. What you're going to see here is a QR code. This can be scanned by anybody. So if somebody's in front of you physically and they have a Bitcoin wallet, they can scan this QR code and they have all the information they need in order to be able to send you money. Alternatively, down below, there's a string of digits, and this is also the same information in text form. That is your Bitcoin address. And so you can use this information to copy and paste into an exchange or send to somebody. Basically, again, it's all the information needed to send you money. So right now, we're simply going to click on it or tap on your phone, and that will copy that information. It's also worth making note of the first few digits and the last few digits. You don't need to read the entire thing and memorize it, don't worry. But take a look at the first few, BC1, and the last few, 6T26. It'll be different from you, of course, but that's all we need. So we're going to jump over. I've got my browser open. As an example, we have Coinbase. So Coinbase is a fairly popular exchange. You may be on something like Binance or FTX or whatever it is. Maybe you're on Cash App or Strike or something like that. Maybe you're on Swan Bitcoin. Maybe you're on Shakepay. Whatever it is, I just want you to find the place on your exchange where you can send or withdraw. It'll probably be one of those two terms. So in the case of Coinbase, here on the desktop version of it, there's a send receive button in the top right. However, it looks a little bit different in the app. I'll show you. Here in the app, here's a screenshot of it. There's a send button kind of right in the top middle. All right, so it may look a little bit different for you. But here on desktop, we're gonna go to send/receive. So this is going to bring up my send screen and my receive screen, both of them, so that I can choose what I want to do. So you can toggle between them. You can hit receive or send. We're sending. We want to send out. So we have the option to type in a dollar amount that we'd like to send, or these two little arrows will give us a Bitcoin amount that we'd like to send, or alternatively, there's a send all button. And I'd like to send all of this out, but you may be inputting $50 or $100 or whatever it may be. So I'm gonna hit send all. This is all of the funds that I currently have on the exchange. Now, I want to send my Bitcoin out. And then here, where is it going to? It could be an email, a Bitcoin address. We have a Bitcoin address that we're sending it to. So we're gonna click here and we're going to paste in that address that we had before. So we can cross-reference this. Remember, it was BC1, 6T26, and it looks like that is the same address that we had. So we're good to go. We can add a note, an optional message if we want. Some exchanges allow you to do that, but that's pretty much all we need. So I'm gonna hit continue. Now, some of these exchanges want a lot of information from you, which is another reason to get it into your own custody, because then you don't need permission to do anything. All right. So where are you sending this to? Well, we're sending it to a self-custody wallet. All right. It gives me a little overview of what's happening here. I'm going to hit send now. And then with Coinbase, there's an authenticator app that you're using, or maybe you might have a text message that's coming through to you, but it's going to ask for that special code that you have to withdraw. And this is the same with a lot of different exchanges. So I'm just pulling that up right now and I can type it in, and it changes every, 60 seconds or something like that. Okay, and I'll hit confirm. All right, so it says this much Bitcoin, or around $51 worth of Bitcoin, was sent to this Bitcoin address. This transaction usually takes about 30 minutes. This is because exchanges, in order to be efficient on the Bitcoin network, they'll batch a whole bunch of withdrawals all together at one time, which is a positive for Bitcoin users overall. So just so you know, it might take a little bit of time to come through, but you should see it within the time amount that they've allotted here. So we'll be back when we see that happen. Now, of course, the example of Coinbase here is going to vary a little bit from other types of exchanges, as I said, but again, you are simply looking for the withdraw or send option on your exchange, and you're going to find a field where you're able to paste in a Bitcoin address or perhaps scan a Bitcoin address to send to. Easy peasy. All you got to do is find where that function is on the exchange you are using. A few minutes later, I have now seen an incoming transaction in my wallet right here. It says pending. And if I tap on it, I can see the details. This is the amount of Bitcoin I have received. Now, what does pending mean? Well, the Bitcoin network updates the ledger of who owns what roughly every 10 minutes. So I can see this one coming in, and in about 10 minutes time, it should say that I have one confirmation, or that the ledger has been officially updated for the first time with my transaction affixed to it. So as long as you see it incoming, then you know that a transaction has been sent to you. And then again, it will show as officially confirmed in roughly 10 minutes time. So again, we'll come back when we see that, and we should see our balance above updated with that as well. And here we are with the updated screen. My transaction has now confirmed, and with that, the balance at the top of my screen has been updated to reflect such. At this point, the exchange I was using can no longer do anything with my funds. They can't freeze them. They can't censor transactions. They can't run away with my money. And that's because it's sitting in my own wallet, with which the keys I myself secure. The only thing that can result in loss of funds at this point is if I'm careless with the backup that we've written down. It's a good idea to keep it somewhere secure, in a safe, with a family member, somewhere where prying eyes will not get a hold of it. Do not secure it digitally or anything like that, because somebody can get a hold of that if it's in your camera roll and uploaded to the cloud. The other instance of loss might be if I'm careless with my device. I let people get on my computer and start playing with things, and maybe they steal it that way from me. But this is all about personal responsibility, and you do that by removing it from a trusted third party. If you want to dive deeper into how to use Blue Wallet, because we've set it up, we received money, but I'm not going to go into sending and receiving transactions back and forth and all of the little features therein, you can check out my full tutorial on Blue Wallet. It is listed in the show notes down below. But that begs the question, what is next? Now that we have our own Bitcoin in our own wallet, and we've backed up said wallet, let's see what it would look like if, for instance, we had our computer fail and we needed to recover our wallet. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this wallet. I know, scary. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to hit delete. I'm going to say, yes, I want to delete this wallet. It does, because I have a balance, it wants to double check that I am sure I want to delete this. I'm going to go ahead and do it. It asked me to type in my balance here, so I'm going to hit delete. Off it goes. So what do you do when you have accidentally discarded your wallet from your actual device? Well, you can use that backup phrase that we wrote down. I've got it just off screen here. So all I would do is I would hit add now, or the little plus sign will also create a new wallet. And instead of selecting Bitcoin and create, we're just going to hit import wallet. And I'm just going to simply type out the phrase that I wrote down, and just a single space between each, no caps lock or anything like that, all lowercase. Once I have everything typed in, I'm just going to hit the import button. Wallet has been imported, and look at that. There's our balance right back on our computer with our list of previous transactions. And again, I will reiterate that those 12 words that you've written down, in some cases it may be 24 depending on the wallet you're using, but those 12 words can be used with any other Bitcoin wallet. That's all you need to recover your funds. So if you were worried about properly backing things up and recovering afterwards, that's how you do it. And that's how I want you to try it today. When you take some funds off the exchange, try deleting your wallet, try recovering it with the words that you've written down, double check them before you do that, and you can be sure that you know how to recover your funds should something go awry. The wallet that we just set up is known as a hot wallet, and that means that the keys to your money are located on a device that is connected to the internet. That also means that the keys to your money are only as secure as the device that they reside on. There is an additional layer of security that you can obtain by using what is known as a hardware wallet, or putting your coins into cold storage. So, what is your next step? Well, you're going to want to decide what kind of hardware wallet works best for you. With a hot wallet, you don't want to have much beyond what you would be comfortable carrying around in your pocket as cash. With a cold wallet, you can think of it as a specialized digital bank vault just for yourself that will store all of your money. So I've done a full video on the top hardware wallets that I like to recommend. I highly recommend that you check it out. I will link it down below, but it goes through 6 different options of different hardware devices that may appeal to you. Everybody's a little bit different. Some will gravitate to others, and it really depends on your personal preference, as I've said, but give it a look, see what works best for you, and then in the show notes of that, you will find in-depth tutorials for every single one of those options. There's a lot of great ones. Again, the ones that are here: Trezor, Ledger, Keystone, Coldcard, Bitbox02, Foundation Passport. They're all different flavors of the same idea, which is keeping your keys on a dedicated device that does not directly connect to the internet. So again, that is your next step. And if you found this process of setting up your own Bitcoin wallet on a phone relatively straightforward, this is not too far detached from what you've already done. You already have the skill set necessary to make one of these work, and I encourage you to take that step right away. My hope is that having seen this video, you will be less apprehensive about taking self-custody, because it really is a key tenet of being a Bitcoiner, taking that self-sovereignty, taking custody of your own money so you're not trusting any third party to secure it for you. You saw the steps, you already have Bitcoin, it's with a custodian perhaps at this moment. All you need to do is get yourself a Bitcoin wallet and withdraw directly to your own custody, learn how to restore it, which we just did, and next step, start looking at hardware so that you can keep that stuff in cold storage and be as secure as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, please do hit like, subscribe, share. All those things really do help get this show in front of more eyeballs. And if you found this useful for you in obtaining your own self-custody, then be sure to share it with all of your friends and family that have not taken that step yet. If you want to help the show in another way, you can hit up the previously mentioned sponsors in the show notes down below: Shakepay, LEDN, Bitrefill, Keystone, BillFodl. They're all down here. And if you really loved what you saw, you can always drop me a Bitcoin tip at my Strike page. That's strike.me/BTC sessions. You head there, you hit the tip button. You will be greeted with a lightning invoice if you're unfamiliar. A new rabbit hole for you to take a look down. But if you want a regular Bitcoin QR code, you just tap the arrow to the right and you can easily send funds there as well. With that, I am out. Have yourselves a wonderful day or evening wherever you may be. See you guys next time for your daily session.
HODL the Bitcoin.